The 1950s marked a pivotal era of significant change across the globe. Post-war optimism certainly fueled new consumer behaviors and aspirations. Innovations like the first credit cards began to reshape personal finance, offering new ways to purchase goods. Transistor radios made music incredibly portable, a substantial shift for youth culture and how they experienced entertainment. This period unmistakably laid the groundwork for a faster-paced, more interconnected world. The seeds of modern convenience were diligently sown, altering daily life in many profound and lasting ways for families and individuals alike. People gathered around new television sets, sharing broadcast experiences. The decade was truly transformative. The Barbie doll arrived on the scene in 1959, quickly becoming much more than just a child's toy. She emerged as a fashion icon, reflecting and also shaping the aspirations of a generation. In the realm of high fashion, Audrey Hepburn's timeless style, particularly in the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's, often featuring designs by Givenchy, set influential global trends for elegance and sophistication. Simultaneously, a major shift occurred in the food industry when Ray Kroc launched the first McDonald's franchise in 1955. This innovative approach revolutionized food service with its compelling model of consistency, speed, and affordability for families. These developments clearly signaled new directions. The 1960s then ushered in an era of vibrant cultural expression and rapid social change. Audio cassettes offered new convenient ways for people to record and share music, personalizing their listening experiences. Though compact discs and video discs were still in their very early stages of development, they hinted at the future media revolutions that were to come. Motown Records, founded in Detroit, Michigan, became an absolute cultural powerhouse during this time. It launched the careers of legendary artists such as the Supremes and the iconic Marvin Gaye. Their distinct music powerfully defined the sound of the decade and managed to cross racial barriers, deeply influencing society. Technological advancements continued to surge forward at a truly remarkable pace throughout the 1960s. Handheld calculators and the first automated teller machines, or ATMs, brought a new level of convenience to everyday financial transactions for many people. Early computers, though often large and cumbersome by today's standards, began their evolutionary journey. They were accompanied by the development of the basic programming language and the invention of the computer mouse. Medical science also made tremendous strides. Vaccines for serious diseases like mumps, measles, and polio became widely available. Dr. Christiaan Barnard performed the first successful human heart transplant in 1967, offering new hope. The 1970s brought technology further and more intimately into daily life for many households. Video cassette recorders, or VCRs, allowed people to record television shows for the very first time. This development offered unprecedented control over their entertainment schedules, a significant shift. VHS tapes soon became the dominant format for home video consumption. The iconic Sony Walkman made listening to music a deeply personal and highly portable experience, transforming commutes and leisure time for millions. The simple yet captivating Pong video game fascinated households across nations, marking the true birth of the home video game industry. Cosmetic companies even innovatively began using video promotions in stores. Fashion in the 1970s was notably diverse, bold, and incredibly expressive, reflecting the changing social needs. Jordache Jones became a significant fashion trend, symbolizing a new wave of popular designer denim. Disco and glam rock musical styles heavily influenced clothing choices, with vibrant colors, shimmering fabrics, and flamboyant designs becoming mainstream. The smoothie fad gained considerable popularity during this time, largely thanks to the wider availability and adoption of food processors in home kitchens. A uniquely vibrant and often exclusive club culture emerged. Venues like the famed Studio 54 in New York City became legendary hotspots, epitomizing the era's search for excitement. The 1980s were characterized by distinct and memorable pop culture crazes that captured public attention. The Cabbage Patch Kids dolls, for instance, sparked a nationwide frenzy, with parents scrambling to find these unique toys for their children. Television programming saw a notable shift during this decade. It became heavily dominated by adult-oriented shows and dramatic soap operas that captivated millions of viewers nightly. For many young people, common social activities included cruising in cars down main streets and gathering in large parking lots. This reflected a particular suburban experience of the time. Givenchy continued its fashion influence, launching the popular Isatis perfume. While popular culture often paints the 1980s with broad strokes of neon colors and extravagant big hair, the reality for many people involved wearing practical, everyday clothing. The decade was undeniably complex. It was a mixture of underlying Cold War anxieties and the vibrant, optimistic energy of pop icons like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper. Smoking was common and widely accepted in many public spaces, including restaurants and offices, a stark contrast to today's norms. Accessibility for individuals with disabilities was severely limited across society. Home decor from the 1960s and 1970s often remained in place well into the 1980s. The significant technological leaps experienced during these decades were primarily driven by visionary individuals and dedicated teams. The brilliant creators behind the IBM personal computer, Apple's innovative Lisa and Macintosh computers, and Microsoft's Windows operating system completely revolutionized personal computing. These remarkable innovations made advanced technology much more accessible to the average person, not just specialists. Later, Sir Tim Berners-Lee's invention of the World Wide Web would fundamentally and permanently change how information is shared, accessed, and utilized globally. These figures were indeed true pioneers. Their foresight and dedication shaped the digital landscape we inhabit today. The numerous inventions and breakthroughs from the 1950s through the 1980s were not simply isolated events. They systematically and collectively laid the essential groundwork for today's incredibly complex and interconnected global markets. Early, rudimentary computers evolved steadily into the powerful, multifaceted devices we rely on heavily in our daily lives. Communication technologies, from basic modems to early network concepts, paved the critical way for the internet and ubiquitous mobile connectivity. Media formats, progressing from vinyl records to 8-track tapes and then to VHS tapes, established strong consumer habits that digital media would later build upon and transform entirely. These innovations fueled substantial economic growth. The 1980s in particular witnessed intellectual property licenses becoming a major and undeniable economic force. This represented a significant shift in how brands, creative works, and characters generated revenue and expanded their reach. Iconic characters from earlier eras, such as the animated Betty Boop, found a surprising new life and popularity through carefully managed licensing agreements. Major entertainment companies, including giants like Warner Brothers, began to strategically leverage their vast libraries of characters, films, and stories. This era effectively established many of the core licensing practices that are still central and vital to the entertainment, fashion, and merchandising industries around the world today. The concurrent expansion of international trade played a crucial and multifaceted role during this dynamic period of growth. The establishment of designated free trade zones in various countries, including nations like Mexico, Turkey, and Argentina, significantly facilitated and streamlined global commerce. These specialized zones often focused on bolstering specific industries, such as the extensive leather trade or electronics assembly. Simultaneously, visionary designers and astute celebrities began to truly understand and harness the immense power of their personal brands. They increasingly leveraged their names, images, and unique styles through international licensing agreements, extending their influence far beyond their original fields of expertise. The 1990s acted as a critical and transformative bridge, connecting the analog past to our current digital era. The widespread introduction of DVDs offered consumers vastly superior video and audio quality, gradually replacing the long dominant VHS tapes in homes. The World Wide Web absolutely exploded in popularity during this decade, further accelerated by the launch of pioneering search engines like Google and groundbreaking e-commerce platforms such as eBay. These digital innovations fundamentally transformed how people accessed vast amounts of information and how they shopped for goods and services. Important medical advancements like HIV protease inhibitors also marked the era. Collectible crazes like Beanie Babies showcased evolving consumer behaviors. Current pop culture today is richly and visibly infused with distinct echoes from many previous decades. Y2K-inspired fashion, for instance, is seeing a significant resurgence. This includes the return of items like pleated miniskirts and bucket hats, styles that were highly popular around the turn of the new millennium. Powerful social media platforms, most notably TikTok, now exert a formidable and rapidly changing influence on current fashion trends and broader social behaviors. They accelerate the cycle of fads at an unprecedented speed. This rapid dissemination of style is a direct descendant of earlier media shifts, evolving from magazines to music television, and now greatly amplified by digital connectivity. Society has undeniably undergone many significant and often positive transformations over these past decades. There is now markedly increased awareness and implementation of accessibility for people with disabilities. This includes the development and use of tools like screen readers and the principles of accessible software design. This progress stands in stark and welcome contrast to the very limited considerations and resources available in earlier decades, such as during the 1980s. Social norms regarding public smoking have drastically changed, with widespread bans and health campaigns. Awareness and acceptance around issues like LGBTQ+ rights have also grown substantially, moving society forward. The incredible journey from the 1950s to the present day clearly demonstrates a remarkable and ongoing evolution in pop culture, technology, and societal values. Innovations from each distinct decade have consistently built upon one another, creating the intricately interconnected, incredibly fast-paced world that we now navigate every single day. The visionaries of the past, whether they were pioneers in technology, groundbreaking designers in fashion, or transformative artists in music, have all left an absolutely indelible and lasting mark on our world. Their diverse creations continue to shape modern markets, influence global trends, and help define our shared cultural landscape. This unfolding story of change truly underscores the enduring power of human ingenuity.